that we need to continue to stand strong to defend everybody's rights and freedoms.
Hey guys, how you doing today? Sorry, I just missed it. It literally just said behind there. I raced to come over here and sit down and get this, but just missed it for you guys. Anyway, I haven't made a video in a while, and I've been asked to do this time and time again, speak on this today. So here we go. So as we speak right now, our Gov are currently in a debate in Parliament to discuss this, and these are our representatives speaking for Canadians. This is difficult because what I need to talk on is an international event happening, and I don't speak on international stuff. I don't speak on what's happening in other countries. I speak on what happens in Canada because I have enough problems here. So this is going to be difficult, but I'm going to try, and I may not tie things back. I may tie things back. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's just going to be off the top of my head, and we're going to go with this. So Hamas committed an atrocity attacking Israel, and Israel is getting retribution by attacking Gaza and Syria, or sorry, Lebanon. And it's everyone is all up in arms around the world over this, and that's why our government is having an emergency meeting right now. And for once, I can't believe I'm about to say this, I'm actually in agreement more so toward the NDP than I am to anyone else. God, I can't believe that even came out of my mouth. But I am. And it's not that they're in support because they're support for Palestine or any of that jazz. It's because they actually are speaking out against both sides. Well, no, I don't know if they are speaking out against both sides. I'm really not following it that closely, so to be fair. But because they're in there, we're actually getting two voices for once in Parliament. It's friggin' amazing on something this important. Okay, so this is where I am. Okay, Hamas performed a actually devastating surprise attack on Israel. And Israel is bombing the Gaza Strip into the Nethermore. And Canada, what are we doing? We're denouncing Hamas and asking Israel to have restraint. To deaf ears. Deaf ears. But we sound good here in Canada, right? Like, we sound real good. Well, we say that, you know, Hamas are the evil ones here. And don't get me wrong, I'm no supporter of Hamas, no supporter of I'm not on either side. Okay, and if you think I'm in support of the Palestinian people or the Israeli people, yeah, you got me wrong. Like these people that think I'm a conservative, you got me dead wrong. I'm not on their side. I'm not on your side. I'm not on anybody's side. I'm on everybody's side. Because I believe that we need to respect everybody. I don't care whether you agree with me, you don't agree with me. I still respect the right that you have. Now I watched Christine, oh God, I can't remember her last name, from the CCF. Love the woman. I think she's amazing what she's doing for Canada and her legal team in the fight for our fundamental rights and freedoms, according to the Charter, which is completely worthless as long as Section 1 is in that Charter. We have no rights. Because this government has proved that, rights are irrelevant as long as you have good lawyers. Or you can have alternative information. Oh Lord. So everyone condemns Hamas for killing children, women, children, people in their homes, civilians, and all that jazz, right? Let me ask you something. Is it an atrocity? Is it an equivalent atrocity for you to shoot somebody versus, I'm gonna fall. Ah! Whoa. These are rocks. That would have sucked. Is it an equivalent atrocity to someone starving to death or dying from a curable disease? Is that equivalent? Because if that's the case, then, well, Hamas's actions were retribution. The same thing, we're justifying Israel for what they're doing right now. Because Israel has the Palestinian people locked down and cordoned off. Humanitarian aid around the world is next to negligible. And the only time that they actually get serious aid, which isn't even really serious, the only time they get this serious aid is when Hamas pulls something like this. So then the Palestinian people actually have a couple of years of, less suffering. Not no suffering, just less. So are they a terrorist group? Or are they just trying to feed their people? I don't know. I don't have the answer to this. I don't follow these political endeavors over in Israel very much. I won't lie to you. It's not really relevant to me. And I got people over here. I'm not going to walk towards them. I'm going to walk away. It's not really relevant to me. And I know this is going to sound crass. And I don't mean it to be crass, but if you actually just listen to what I'm saying, I don't really care. I have my own problems. I don't have time for these international issues because we have our own here in Canada. Yes, they're not as dire as what's happening to the Palestinian people, but I don't know. Canadian homeless shelters are full. Canadian pop-up tent cities are happening in small communities like my own here in North Bay. So I do have some pretty dire situations happening here in Canada that I would like addressed, that are put on the back burner so we can deal with an international issue. I don't know. There's people here in North Bay that didn't get supper tonight. There's people here in North Bay that are probably going to pass away from a foreign substance abuse. There's people here in North Bay suffering. There's people all across Canada suffering. The world is suffering. And we keep making these, feel-good gestures that do absolutely nothing. Let's give them safe supply, safe drugs. Yeah, that doesn't help anything. All it does is prolong the problem. I'm off topic again. So, I'm sorry if it sounds crass that I really don't care what's happening in Israel. I feel bad for the people. I feel bad for the people on both sides. The Israeli civilians should never have suffered that atrocity. But should the Palestinian people suffer the starvation and lack of medical care? You got to ask yourself that. I mean, does one wrong make the other one right? I don't know. I don't have that answer. So our government now, standing up for our representatives in government, standing up for the people of Canada and the opinions of Canadians. But are they? Let me ask you, if you're a conservative, and every single conservative is only in favor of the Israeli side of things, is every single liberal on the side of Israeli side of things? Is every NDPer on the side of Palestine? I don't know. But I doubt it. There's too many nuances there. There's too many nuances throughout our country. So to call yourself one thing or another, I think it's just foolish. I call myself a liberal. You're absolutely right, I do. But I have a playlist on my channel explaining why I call myself a liberal. And it ain't liberal party. Because that's not liberal in any way, shape, or form. Do you know Canada's going to donate $10 million? Because, wow, that's a lot of money. Someone like me, or you. How many buildings has Israel blown up in Gaza right now? Because going off of the data I've looked up, the average 6-story building based in US funds costs anywhere from $8 to $15 million. So Canada bought one building. Boy, we're doing our part. Yep. Help Gazans. Help the Palestinian people through this atrocity. Yeah, no, maybe it might be less in Palestine or Gaza or the West Bank for these things. It doesn't change anything. It still costs money to build a building. These people still don't have a home and now have to set up a tent city. They say Gaza Strip is one of the most populated strips of land anywhere. Is it the Middle East or the world? No, I think it's the Middle East. Okay. Because it's so condensely packed with people. Now Israel says, oh, well, we gave them warning to leave. You could also give them warning you're not going to attack. It's you deciding to pull that trigger. We talk about peace deals. Yeah, there's no peace deal here. Gaza needs to support itself. When it starts running low on funds, the people become desperate. Desperate people resort to desperate measures. And Hamas is born. How many of these homes, if civilians were attacked, were looted? You don't hear that number, right? And why do they need to loot it? I don't know. I know I'm just some dude trying to destroy a YouTube channel with an opinion that most people disagree with. But I do try. I try to make people think differently. Because the status quo doesn't work anymore. We are not succeeding with status quo. Ooh, I'm gonna fall. Status quo is failing us. freedom. Isn't that what everybody wants? We run around and we scream it on Parliament and everywhere we go. But we don't scream it for Palestine. That's awesome. A couple guys running by singing a song. My Aunt May is 98. Met St. Paul at the shiny gate. Yeah, let's sit down right here. All right, so for these out there picking a side on this story, and you have no skin in the game, and you're claiming, you know, some people don't have a right to this or that, or oh, these people are atrocious for what they've done. Yeah, maybe you're right, but maybe you're not. Maybe you don't have a whole picture. I never claim to have a whole picture, ever. I try and imagine what the other side of the picture looks like. Do you? Even if I don't like what I'm seeing, I still try to imagine what the other side of the picture looks like. If you can't see the other side of the picture, then you're no different than either one of these. You're no different than Hamas. You're no different than Israel. You're no different than this government claiming, you know, virtual signal. Oh God, I can't. Virtue signaling to Canadians. Oh look, we stand behind Israel. Yeah, but you're speaking for me, and I never said that. How many Canadians are sitting back going, well, I don't understand what the hell is going on. We've watched this unfold time and time again. 3 years ago, we had the same thing. Canada donated $25 million. Woohoo! We bought 2.5 buildings that day. Israel upgrades its military equipment by disposing of the old used up stuff. And Hamas and the Palestinian people go back to their daily lives of going to the UN for food and medical supplies. Doctors Without Borders go in and try and help and give themselves a pat on the back. Look what I've done. I helped to get the Palestinian people. Good job. Yeah. And we're a society that's trying to claim that we need to become one people around the world. Unified thought. Can't even unify long enough to make sure that people are fed. People have medical care. Even here in Canada, we don't get that. Not these days. If you want true medical care, you fly to the US and you pay for it. It's the only way to get real care here in Canada. Be real. They talk about staffing shortages. It's not staffing shortages. It's people are appalled at the medical cares in Canada now. And we have no family doctors because there's no money to be made being a family doctor here in Canada. So what do? They get their degree here and ship off to the US or to other countries. Our teachers, we don't have quality teachers anymore. No, why would we? We train them up here in Canada and ship them around the world to teach international students somewhere else. China is a good example. We have lots of teachers in China, Canadian teachers, over there teaching them English. Yeah. Good money doing it too. Don't get me wrong. Don't blame them one bit. And yet, here in Canada, we're standing here with our hand out going, oh, government, please give me my carbon tax check. Someone actually said this to me the other day. Oh, they were excited because tomorrow was going to be, I get my carbon tax check from the government. And they were all excited about it. And I said, why are you excited? Do you know that check costs you more than you're actually getting? And they didn't understand what I meant. I said, well, just take a loaf of bread, for instance. You know, it costs the farmer carbon tax, so he has got to raise his rate. Transport company, they got to pay carbon tax, so they got to raise their rate. The distributor, they got to pay carbon tax, so they got to raise their rate. The bakery, they got to pay carbon tax, they got to raise their rate. The grocery store, it's got to pay carbon tax, it's got to raise its rate. So, and then when you buy that loaf of bread, you got to pay carbon tax too. So why are you excited to receive a check from the government? Never once in the history of any government has the government ever given money to the people without taking a big chunk for themselves first. GST the same thing. Oh, don't worry, we're going to give it back to the people. No, you're not. Yeah. We're turning our society into welfare mobs. I know that sounds bad. I was raised by a welfare mom. It wasn't the greatest of life. Opportunities were short. I'm a man with 136 IQ. Okay. 136. I border right along genius when I was younger. And everybody knew it. Teachers knew it. I never studied for tests, couldn't get below an 80%. Teachers knew it. Principals knew it. But because of where I come from, opportunities were not available. You say, oh, well, we're making differences now. No, you're not. You're picking and choosing who you like and who you don't like. If they agree with you, then great. If they don't, well, screw them, right? Yeah. As long as you stand there in line with your hand out to the government going, give me my check, give me my check. That government owns you. Just like the Palestinian people standing in line at the UN food. Wow. It's 23 minutes in. I have so much I wanted to say in this video and totally probably forgot at least half of it. Just because I've just been babbling. So when you ask me my opinion on what's happening in Israel and Gaza, well, I'm not surprised. I'm not appalled. This is who we are. Neither side's right. Neither side's wrong. The whole situation is wrong. The world is wrong. Welcome to the... Welcome to the fringe.